Are you tired of your expensive top coat soaking straight into your drywall or looking blotchy because of a bad base layer? Getting a flawless finish is impossible without the right foundation, and today we're revealing the primers that actually deliver. In this video, we are going to dive deep into the best drywall primers available today, saving you time, money, and intense frustration. We've ranked these from number 7 all the way down to the ultimate number 1 primer that completely changed how we handle drywall jobs. 7. Zinsser Bulls Eye. When you first pop the lid off this one, you'll immediately notice its consistency is designed to be a versatile all-purpose workhorse for a variety of surfaces around the home, rather than a highly specialized drywall fluid. This primer is famous for sticking to almost anything without sanding, and during our tests on standard drywall, it grabbed onto the paper face quite well. It acts as a reliable bridge between the bare wall and your top coat, offering a dependable base layer that grips both acrylic and oil-based paints. Zinsser claims it effectively blocks stains, and while it does hold back minor watermarks and everyday scuffs, we found that darker, heavier stains easily bled through and required a second coat. It's a great utility primer, but if you have severely damaged walls, its hiding power leaves a bit to be desired, and you might find the coverage a bit thin compared to specialized stain blockers. One of the major conveniences of this formula is that it dries to the touch in just 30 minutes, allowing you to move fast on weekend projects. However, because it flashes off so quickly, you have to be very deliberate with your roller. Otherwise, you can easily end up with noticeable lap marks and a slightly uneven texture on large, bare drywall sections. The dried film is engineered to resist mold and mildew growth, which adds a beneficial layer of protection to your drywall in slightly damp environments. We found this feature particularly useful when priming new drywall patches near bathrooms or laundry rooms, though it shouldn't replace proper ventilation. At the end of the day, Bulls Eye 123 is a fantastic jack-of-all-trades product that is easy to clean up with just soap and water. 6. Zinsser Peel Stop. We brought this into the testing lab specifically for those nightmare scenarios where you are dealing with severely peeling, cracking, or chalking surfaces on older drywall. Unlike standard primers, Peel Stop goes on as a milky white liquid but dries completely clear, acting like a flexible glue for your walls. It penetrates into the porous, damaged edges of old paint and peeling drywall paper, binding everything together into a solid, highly paintable surface. Brushing or rolling this on feels more like applying a thin varnish, and it significantly reduces the amount of scraping and sanding required on a restoration job. However, because it is so incredibly runny, it can be extremely messy to apply, dripping heavily from the roller and requiring constant attention to catch runs before they dry on your baseboards. You must understand that this product offers absolutely zero hide or coverage, meaning it won't block colors, stains, or make your wall look uniform before painting. It strictly acts as a transparent binder, which can be a major letdown if you were expecting a multitasking primer that also blanks out the wall. Once cured, the film remains highly flexible, meaning it moves with the expansion and contraction of the house to prevent future cracking. We were genuinely impressed with how well it locked down the edges of peeling paint where we had scraped away the loose debris. This is a fantastic problem solver for historic homes or heavily neglected walls where standard primers would just peel off with the old paint. If you are working with brand new, smooth drywall, this is completely unnecessary, but for patching up a deteriorating wall, it serves as a critical first step. 5. Zinsser 276087. If you are installing new drywall or repairing sections in a basement, bathroom, or kitchen, this is a product that specifically targets the invisible threats behind your paint. What sets this apart is that it contains an EPA-registered antimicrobial to prevent the growth of mildew and odor-causing bacteria directly on the primer film. When we tested this in a poorly ventilated basement environment, it proved to be incredibly effective at stopping spores dead in their tracks. Remarkably, you can paint this directly over existing mold, mildew, and odor-causing bacteria without extensive pre-cleaning, though we still recommend a light wipe down. It goes on thick and smooth, completely encapsulating the affected area and killing the remaining organisms. It has an impressive hiding power that easily blanks out dark stains and old colors, giving you a bright white canvas. The consistency is quite creamy, making it a joy to roll out across large stretches of drywall without dealing with excessive splatter or dripping. Beyond standard drywall, it grips securely to masonry, wood, and previously painted surfaces, making it versatile for whole room renovations. It dries relatively fast, allowing for a top coat in about an hour, which keeps your project moving at a brisk pace. Using this primer provides immense peace of mind, knowing that your drywall is shielded from moisture-related degradation. It's an absolute essential if you are working in any humid climate or dealing with a home that has a history of water intrusion. 4. INSL-X AP1009A-04. We have the INSL-X, an acrylic-based powerhouse that surprised us with its exceptional performance. This is a premium primer that bridges the gap between everyday drywall sealing and hardcore stain blocking. Aqualock creates an incredibly dense, non-porous film over raw drywall and joint compound, preventing your top coat from soaking in. We noticed that paints applied over this primer looked significantly richer and achieved their true sheen, whether it was an eggshell or semi-gloss finish. It performs exceptionally well at locking in water stains, smoke damage, and everyday household markers. During our tests, it effortlessly concealed harsh permanent marker and water rings on the drywall, preventing any bleed-through into our pristine top coat. The flow and leveling characteristics of this acrylic formula are top tier, laying down smoothly and minimizing the appearance of roller stipple. It leaves the drywall feeling silky to the touch once dry, which drastically improves the final appearance of your finished wall. It aggressively bonds to bare drywall, cured plaster, and even glossy surfaces without the need for heavy sanding. It provides a reliable, high-friction surface for the top coat to grab onto, ensuring excellent long-term durability and resistance to peeling. The low VOC formula means it has a very mild odor, making it comfortable to use in enclosed indoor spaces without overwhelming fumes. It's a phenomenal choice for those who want professional-grade sealing and stain blocking without resorting to harsh oil-based primers. 3. Rust-Oleum 3554. Taking the bronze medal at number 3 is the Rust-Oleum Zinsser Guards Problem Surface Sealer, a true miracle worker in the drywall world. If you do a lot of drywall repair, skim coating, or wallpaper removal, this product will quickly become your absolute best friend. Guards is a water-based, clear acrylic polymer that is formulated to deeply penetrate porous surfaces rather than just sitting on top. When applied to raw drywall or powdery joint compound, it literally locks the chalky surface down, creating a rock-hard, water-resistant seal. When you pull off old wallpaper or baseboards and tear the brown paper facing of the drywall, standard primers will cause that paper to bubble and blister. Guards completely prevents this. It permeates the torn paper, binding it tight to the gypsum core, so you can apply joint compound over it without any bubbling whatsoever. If you have just skim-coated an entire wall to achieve a level 5 finish, rolling a coat of guards over it guarantees a uniform porosity. It dries to a slight sheen, giving you a highly durable, moisture-resistant barrier that ensures your paint glides on perfectly and evenly. It is very watery and milky upon application, which means you need to be careful with drips, but it spreads incredibly fast. Because it goes on so thin, a single gallon covers a massive amount of square footage, making it highly economical for large-scale repair projects. While it doesn't provide color hide, its structural benefits to damaged or highly porous drywall are completely unmatched. It rescues ruined walls, solidifies chalky compound, and creates an impervious shield that guarantees a flawless, blister-free top coat every single time. Number 2. Evolve Drywall Primer. Securing the runner-up position at number 2 is the Evolve Everest PVA Pro Primer, a fantastic modern solution for newly hung drywall. This product is designed with both the professional contractor and the environmentally conscious DIYer in mind. One of the standout features of Evolve is its commitment to indoor air quality, boasting a zero VOC and ultra-low odor profile. We were able to prime an entire closed-off master bedroom without experiencing any of the headaches or chemical smells typically associated with fresh paint jobs. As a polyvinyl acetate PVA primer, it is chemically formulated to interact perfectly with the paper face of drywall and the porous nature of dry joint compound. It unifies the surface tension across the wall, ensuring that your expensive top coat doesn't flash or look dull over the patched areas. The consistency is perfectly dialed in, thick enough to prevent excessive splatter, but smooth enough to roll out effortlessly. We found that it provides fantastic coverage, hiding minor imperfections and pencil marks easily while creating a bright, uniform base. Time is money on any project, and Evolve dries rapidly, allowing you to apply your final paint color in just a few hours. It sands down beautifully to a fine powder, letting you knock down any raised paper fibers before applying your top coat for a glass, smooth finish. For new construction or extensive room remodels, this primer offers top-tier performance while keeping your home's air clean. It is a highly reliable, smooth-applying sealer that sets up your drywall perfectly for any premium latex or acrylic paint you choose. 1. Kilz Drywall Primer. And finally, taking the crown at number 1 is the Kilz Drywall Primer, the undisputed king of sealing new bare drywall. When you need a flawless, professional foundation that guarantees your top coat looks absolutely perfect, this is the product you reach for. Unlike universal primers, Kilz Drywall Primer is specifically engineered for one job: sealing the highly porous surfaces of bare drywall and cured joint compound. Because it doesn't try to be a stain blocker or a metal primer, its formula is perfectly optimized to create the ultimate bond with gypsum board. During our tests, this primer created an impenetrable barrier that stopped our top coat from absorbing unevenly into the wall. This maximum holdout means you will use significantly less of your expensive finish paint, saving you major money on large interior projects while ensuring a consistent sheen everywhere. It has a rich, creamy viscosity that clings to the roller and transfers beautifully to the wall with minimal splatter. It fills in the microscopic pores of the drywall paper and sands down to a buttery smooth finish, eliminating the rough texture that lesser primers leave behind. It dries incredibly fast, allowing you to move on to the painting phase without losing a day to cure times. Furthermore, its coverage rate is exceptional, meaning a single 5-gallon bucket will prime a massive amount of square footage, making it the most cost-effective choice for whole house priming. If you want a perfectly uniform professional-grade finish on fresh drywall, the Kilz Drywall Primer is simply unbeatable. It maximizes the coverage and color accuracy of your top coat, applies like a dream, and consistently delivers the flawless, high-end results that make your walls look absolutely stunning.